Just gonna talk about my night routine, my nightly ritual. It's currently 3:46 in the morning, kind of crazy, but I've been really missing making videos. Um, in this season of my life, my nightly ritual has been keeping me grounded and is a vital part of my daily living and existing and embodiment. And I want to talk a little bit about how powerful a daily ritual is and maybe why you should consider adding it in, whether that is a night routine or a morning routine. For me, in this current chapter, night routines have been serving me very well because the mornings are very different every morning depending on what time my first client is or my first class is. So basically, the night is a lot more consistent than the morning, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Also, I found that I was struggling a lot with waking up in the morning, even when I wanted to do a morning routine. And so, therefore, like trusting that I would get my meditation in the morning and seeing over and over and over that that wasn't happening is what made me decide to try doing it in the nighttime and see if that would work better because I was more naturally being inclined to staying up later, which it did help with me being able to become more consistent with my meditation, my daily stretches, my affirmations, my journaling, my reading. My current night routine consists of light stretching, meditation. I try for at least 5 minutes and then to wherever I feel called to, and followed by journaling and reading. I usually fall asleep reading. Um, that is like the ideal routine. That's the stack that works well for me. If you ever read The Power of Habit or Atomic Habits, you know the power of habit stacking. That's basically like, I think, why a morning routine or a night routine, like a routine or a ritual, serves so well because it's basically habit stacking. And habit stacking is basically the cheat code to getting in all the good things that you want to get in on a daily basis in one go. So obviously, like the practices that make me feel the most grounded, that have been making me feel the most grounded through my life for the past couple years of my life, have been journaling, reading, meditating, stretching, taking time in silence, and getting that all done in one shot. And my night routine takes either like from anywhere from 15 minutes to like an hour and a half. It just depends on the day. Because some days I can literally sit down for 2 minutes of meditation and then write one line in my journal and fall asleep. And other nights I can like literally sit down and meditate for a half hour and write 4 journal pages. So every day is different and I honor and show up exactly as I'm feeling called to. Does that mean that some days I just don't do it at all? Yes. I probably do my night routine like 5 times a week, 4 times a week. I try to consistently do it on weekdays when I'm having like a normal, consistent schedule. On the weekends, I try to like be very flexible with myself because I do lean towards being more like efficient in my day to day life in the weekdays while I'm working. And I find that if I lean into that too much and don't give myself a bit of a break, that I get into like a state of overwhelm. So, like learning myself, my patterns, I work well on this week cycle. I see, I don't necessarily like subscribe to the concept of time in a linear sense, but I do see the cycles, the natural cycles of the day, of the week, of the month, and being able to hone in and use it to my advantage. And I see that within the week cycle itself, I see that I thrive on structure and routine and rituals, planning for, the first couple days. By the time I get to Thursday, when I'm very structured through Monday through Thursday, I feel myself getting angsty. Like I need that freedom. I need that spontaneity. I need flexibility. And so that's like perfect. That's right around the time the weekend starts to come. So I've made space for myself for during the weekend to let go of any plans and structure and just try to really tune in to like moving through intuition and trying not to lean into any habits that feel extremely distracting at the same time, because obviously like the whole reason we thrive on structure is because when we don't have structure, sometimes we just lean into habits that feel comfortable, and sometimes that is not serving our highest self. So, what am I getting to? I'm getting to the fact that your daily ritual doesn't have to look like a bunch of habits stacking together at the same time every day. Like my nightly ritual has been serving me so beautifully. Every time I feel like I'm getting out of balance within myself or I feel out of touch, I'm like, I haven't done my night routine in 3 days. Let me get on that. And then everything feels like the earth under my feet is solid, like I understand I'm here, you know? But like I said, sometimes we go through seasons that structure just isn't coming, I don't know, for whatever reason, and then you honor it in different ways. Like if I go through a week where I'm finding it very hard to do the night routine, the night ritual, or the morning ritual, the point is to bring in those practices when you can. So like if I am on vacation and I'm not specifically doing my night ritual, I'll try to just bring in those practices when I can, stretch when I can, journal when I can, and trying to bring those practices in, because more than having the perfect routine or a ritual, it's important to just recognize what practices help you feel grounded, help you feel good, help you feel aligned, and bringing them in as often as you can in whatever way that serves you in the current season of life that you're in. So, yeah, find the practices that feel good for you and bring them in, hone them in, because they they do wonders. And the more consistent you are with them, the more you reap the benefits. But yeah, if you want any type of external accountability to be consistent, you can check out my habit tracker. That is a lifesaver for me. Like I said, I work very well on routine and structure, but at the same time, that routine and structure doesn't just come out of my head. Like I have to write it down. I have to have a planner and a tracker, because external accountability is very important for my own sense of organization. And I'm very big on understanding like how I can work best with myself to feel the best, to understand like I don't work the best with structure if it's just structure in my head. Then there's too much going on in my head. It feels like I have to remember too much and it gets overwhelming. So having it outside of me in a planner, in a tracker, feels like I have that assistance. But if you want to check that out, you can check it out. I'll link it down below. But other than that, like, take advantage of these tools in our toolbox: deep breathing, deep belly breathing, focused awareness, self study, svadhyaya, self study through journaling, through self reflection, bringing in your affirmations. Oh, I do my affirmations in the morning actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, like bring them in, habit stack, make it a habit by doing it consistently, and also letting go of that perfectionist mindset by allowing yourself to bring in those practices as they come. Thank you for being here. Remember to breathe deeply and live mindfully.